Yeah, I found this to be like, I don't know, I'm being more introspective than I normally am. I think I don't know, you kind of hit a nerve with me. This doesn't have to go in the interview or whatever. I'm just like, just telling me what I'm thinking in real
This is not
time.
what you expected it to be.
It's I had no expectations other than I just wanted to talk to you. I think the to be more specific with that note, I think that's something I've wrestled with in my own life. Like all my family were all like very blue collar and like took pride in the physical labor, and I make stuff as well. And the second you sort of derive from, I think everybody struggles with this with some sense. Whether your dad and mom went to Yale and Harvard and all that, and guess what your expectation is? You need to go to Yale and Harvard and whatever. And what if you don't want to do that? What if you're drawn to something more that's just different? Okay, fine. Yeah, it's a theme that I've been wrestling with personally, but I would also say in my friends in the creative world, it's like you have this expectation, and then the question is how much do you live in that expectation, and is it being disrespectful to diss the thing that you came from? No, you got to find your own path. You got to integrate it. It's a you got to
I
live in
think
the messy missile,
I think
messy middle.
integration is like kind of the key term there. I mean, I've heard that term thrown around in therapy quite a bit. When it's just trying to how do I incorporate and sort of create some sort of internal logic with all these disparate parts of myself, and all
Yeah,
these
right.
these contradictory interests and motivations. Like, how do I, and these other selves. I mean, I've explored that a lot with my supervillain shit.
Yeah,
Creating avatars for myself and then putting them in little films and stories and having them act out their worst impulses against each other. And like, where does that all lead? It's like, do you when is that are you deriving your creativity from the internal conflict? And what happens when you heal yourself? You see it all the time in a lot of fantasy where like the bad guy becomes a good guy and then suddenly he becomes boring. You
right.
saw that in Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones, for example, is a good example. I would say Gru from Despicable Me, was
Yeah,
awesome in the first movie. Then he became a loving father and he became flat. No one gives a fuck anymore. So it's just like, how do you make that all work? And it's like, I think that's like, there's no specific answer. I was talking to my friend the other day, and it was just like talking about like dedicating your life to your creativity and your art and solving all these art challenges that you've either created for yourself or chosen to take on. And it's like talking about success and making money and becoming known and famous and becoming like regarded as important. You may fail at all those things, but the real reward is that you got to do that with your life. If you spent your life in pursuit of your creative interests and interrogating yourself and examining your life, as was that Plato or one of
yeah.
those guys said, the unexamined, whatever. If you did that with your life, you won. You fucking won, even if nobody remembers it. The fact that like you spent your life in pursuit of creativity is a reward unto itself, and anything that happens after that is just a bonus. And at
Yeah.
least that's what people who fail at life tell themselves to console themselves.
I'll take that consolation prize. That's yeah, that's spot on, man.